Okay, so now it's the grand finals of EPT 118. We've seen a lot of heroes run over the last couple days. He's had an awesome run here. Classic also had a pretty damn good run, knocking Beyond out like that. So now, two deserving players in that championship. Who wins, who loses? Well, it's going to be a great series. But before we get into it, of course, folks, reminder, I upload one cast in 4K every single day of the week. So make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next banger. And also, I stream on Twitch every Monday, EPT North America, every Saturday, EPT Korea. And then other things that happen this coming Saturday is AlphaX European Ascension in Group D. And then King of Battles happens at the end of the month. So make sure to go check that out, twitch.tv/spamwolf, and enjoy the grand finals. Seriously. Spawning in the bottom left here in the blue. Taking down Dark 2-0, looking dominant. It is for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, herO. His opponent in the upper right in the red. For AlphaX, it's Classic. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of I would seriously look into technical manufacturing if you're trying to do something like that. I don't know what the training requirements are. I don't know how. You might have to know to solder and know how to solder and do things like that, which is something you can learn fairly easily. But I know a lot of tech manufacturing is pretty short on things on, well, on technicians. And hey, I mean, with Detroit, you got Ford. Where we are? Okay. Hey, thanks Zilmer for the follow. Zilmer X. Now, where do we go in this PvP? Classic won a PvP against Zhao. It was not broadcast. Well, the final game was, but that didn't tell herO much of anything if he was watching. Maybe it was broadcast in a foreign language or in a non-English language. I don't know. But here, herO is going for Proxy Stargate Game 1. That's what it looks like. We're going to see Pylon go down. Or not. This could just be a probe in a random spot. But given the fact that herO has a probe in the main base, I am guessing. There we go. Pylon goes down. Probe stays there. Proxy Stargate is going to be on the way for herO in this game number 1. And notice that he has made sure he has 2 pylons in the main base. This probe will not see too much amiss. He's going to say, hey, you don't have a natural. But realistically, you don't have a natural right now. Hello there, Mr. Pac-Moun, or Mrs. Pac-Moun. So, hello there, Pac-Moun, of whatever title you desire. I mean, yeah, you talk about from pure viewing core muscles, but people don't watch esports with the volume off. Oh, hey, Dave. Thank you so much for the gifted sub as well. Nikki B. Red, welcome. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm thinking of Smash core muscles in particular, where you have this HP bar that, or this health number that goes up to like 150%, and then the higher it is, the more likely someone flies off the screen. But you don't really know. As the Classic here, he will find the Proxy Stargate. Classic is inured to the shenanigans of herO in this game. But Adepts find their way out in the main base. It's like, you killed one of my ideas. I have 2 ideas. I have multiple ideas here in this game. So 4 workers go down, 5 workers go down, 6 workers go down. I cast the PvP earlier where this amount of damage cost the Protoss to just GG out. I don't think we're going to see herO do that or Classic do that. But this is a bit of a problem. And the pylon is still there. Yeah, sure. There's no shield battery. Or, excuse me, there's no Stargate. But the pylon is still there. And that does provide some warping opportunities later on. And look at that. The Adepts, they do... Oh, they don't get in. They don't get the probe either. But the ideal here, I believe... Has herO scouted this? Okay, so he saw the Stargate. He should be well prepared. We have Stalkers warping in. 3 Stalkers where they need to be. There's a shield battery on the way here as well. herO should not take any damage to this. And guess what he's got on the way? There's a Warp Prism. He's going 3-gate Robo behind this. He's not giving Classic any room to sleep. And traditionally, 3-gate Robo is great against Stargate anyways, because you have a lot of Stalkers and Oracles, they're glass cannons. Yeah, they do a lot of damage, but they also die pretty damn fast. So Classic looks like he's trying to pair up his Oracle with a bunch of Stalkers. And maybe make something happen here. But herO He's got a lot of stalkers himself. He's got a warp prism as well, which means these stalkers can't do much here. Shield batter, or excuse me, stasis trap is not going to get much of anything, and this is not working out for Classic. GG, game 1 goes to herO. In the bottom left, in the red, he's up in the blue, excuse me. He's up 1 for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. He is herO. His opponent in the bottom right in the red. Down 1, but we can kind of throw that game on out. Adept's got the main base. For AlphaX, it's Classic. So where do we go here? Game 1. I mean, first of all, this is a 2-gate expand map, or a single gate expand map, excuse me. This is a map where we tend to see Phoenix and Classic and herO, but to me, they strike me as Phoenix players. So that's going to be a fun game if that happens. I'm of 2 minds about Phoenix play, because on the one hand, it can be rather dull to watch it happen over and over and over again, as we started to see at the end of that last patch. But you sprinkle it in once a series, once every 2 series, it adds a certain spice, a certain zest, a certain joie de vivre that we miss out on otherwise. But for now, we don't see any probes getting ready for proxies on the map. We don't see anything too crazy. Of course, Max Pax has taught single gate expand players that you build that zealot. You build it every time, because if it doesn't happen, your opponent is going to do something annoying to you. Is it only chocolate milk corn mussels? I thought it was. I thought it was all milk. As a herO block the natural for now, so Classic just goes for Stargate first. So does Classic. This game is going apace. Oh, I agree, Crash Fist Fight. And but if we're talking about fighting games with the ability to understand it, right, in terms of you know, pure appeal. Oh, there's wait, is that a? Okay, that is herO shield battery. Yeah, herO's building a shield battery and to support the zealot that runs across the map. Now, it's not going to work, but it's cute, it's funny. But oh, Stalker's going to get a first shot off here as well, so that is going to be a bit of a problem. The wall is there. Stalker actually is going to be walled on out, and with the zealot running, second Stalker. Okay, so it's like, man, 1 Stalker there. You're actually going to be able to take that fight because the Stalker's walled out, but no. But we talk about esports maybe a little bit. You talk about this theory of games that are easier to get at first glance are maybe easier to understand, or maybe easier to gain a following. The other thing we got to include in that setup is the commentary, if we're talking about an esport. And I'm going to argue that fighting game commentary is a more niche setup, is a more niche, not everyone likes it. Because they are very, I mean, they are very grassroots. They're out of their community. They have a very specific style of how they commentate their game. And if you love it, you love it. But if you don't, it feels polarizing. It really is. Stalkers of herO are going to move on in. They're going to take a positive trade, but at the end of the day, Void Ray additional Stalkers force them back. So herO's not going to get too much of what he wants here. And actually, Classic's going to try to take the inside track on things. Maybe knock one of these Stalkers off. That's going to be fine here for now. Now, herO is fully walled in this natural. We should notice that's Oracles flying on in. And hey, you know what? Double Oracles don't give a damn about shield batteries, so 4 workers go down. herO, this is how he likes to play PvP. He just says, yeah, I don't really care about what's happening on the map. Your army is whatever. What I care about is killing your economy, harassing you to death. As the Void Ray shows up here, shield battery goes down. We're going to have a Void Ray popping out for herO eventually, but for right now, this Void Ray is uncontested, which is a bit of a problem here. The Stalkers are going to go down. Warp Gate is not done, so it's just effectively single Stalker production. Void Ray pops on out now, but yeah, okay. herO wins this fight. The second Void Ray arrives. His first Void Ray getting very, very low. I'm looking at this, I'm saying, well, it doesn't look all that great for Classic because, well, herO got so much damage, but the rally on the other side is going to depower everything. This Void Ray is untouched. And Classic's going to equalize the series, folks. There's not a lot. We're going to see a lot of pylons go down, but now Void Rage is just going to sit over the mineral line, knock down all the probes. Yeah, these pylons, eventually one of them goes up. But for how long? And you just get one stalker out. Now, oh, this one that goes on up, it doesn't even get the shield back, or it doesn't even get warp gate. This is, herO is dead. All right, so now warp gate is done, which at least there's something there. Double stalkers warping on in. But Void Rays pop out now, but it's 2 Void Rays to 1 here. And I mean, I don't know what herO does in this game, really. I mean, again, the Void Rays, they are uncontested. There is no shield batteries. We're starting to see the pylons get targeted down once again. Void Rays killing off everything. Yeah, there we have it. GG Classic equalizes our series 1-1. In the bottom left here in the red, his name for Dragon Phoenix Gaming is herO. And his opponent, he took damage, but he did damn more than that for AlphaX. Classic. Yeah, but I think you say it's hard to show why sightlines and movement matters so much. This is true. But I think I don't know, I think it's pretty easy for people to understand that guy dead is bad. Like, maybe it's just that, you know, COD culture and Battlefield, most people in America, at least, they grew up playing some version of an FPS. Whether it was COD or Battlefield or whatever else. I didn't, because I was not allowed to have a console. I grew up in the middle of nowhere. I had a terrible little computer that couldn't run FPS. I bought myself a little Inspiron 4000 when I was in 7th grade. But I think the argument there, in part, it's pretty easy to understand that guy dead bad, guy alive good, guy winning, you know, trade is good, even if you don't understand the strategy and the rotations and everything else. But I think part of it also is, you know, people grew up playing COD. They grew up playing Battlefield, and they grew up playing everything else. I mean, I would argue, I think it's pretty likely to say here that the average game interaction methodology is through FPS, or maybe is shooters in general. You do have some third-person shooters, but in general, this understanding of I'm going to interact with your game and that how most things are going to go is, I think it's fair in saying that a majority of that is FPS, or at least SPS inspired. So that is something that people will instinctively get. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy here, as hero's going to drop a pylon, but I don't think he's going to do much with it. Oh, yeah, he's going to cancel it. There we go. He gets the scout off. He says, okay, double stalker opener. That's good information for me, as he goes for a double gate expand. Plastic looks like he's setting himself up for something similar. But of course, he went for a Stargate first, which means that his natural will be delayed just a little bit. I mean, Stargates, they cost money. But okay, Twilight on the way here for herO. Finally, we have a game where there is some, I don't know, some build or some variation in build order. Now, I think game 1 we kind of had that, but it didn't matter because 2 adepts were in the base and killed Classic. Game 2, it was kind of the exact same build, and it was all predicated on who did things differently, right? So herO opened double Oracle, his opponent opened Void Rays. He took damage, but he was able to hit a critical Void Ray mass and go from there. This is the first game where we truly have 2 different playstyles running into each other. Well, again, a game 1, but again, the game ended really early. So Adepts now are going to try to shade on into the main base here. We have 3 Stalkers, 2 Sentries. Good force field will force one of these Adepts out, which means, hey, you don't have double shot potential here. Good pro pull as well. Only 2 workers go down. But now the Oracle arrives on the transfer, getting 2 more workers. But on the whole, this is pretty fine. Classic has not left AlphaX. Olanderson. See, look, he's rocking the clan tag. He just is not. His name is not AX Classic. Okay, that's a big scout here. Realizing that this is 2 Oracle means that he maybe needs a couple more Stalkers in the main base in that mineral line to prevent the damage from happening. And Classic's trying to really trick. This is how herO likes to play. You have Adepts all over the map, you run Oracles in, and you're just trying to force difficult decisions from your opponent where you're able to find value. Adepts now, they shade into the natural. Probes get pulled off, though, but hey, this is the trigger pattern. Oracles fly into the main base. Stalkers are here, though. We're going to see some workers go down, but again, with Stalkers here, they will be able to shoo this away for the most part. Classic, despite this, he finds himself a nice, tasty 9-worker lead, and look at that herO. He's proxying on the map here. He's running Stalkers across sentries as well. Still 3 Stalkers stay home. And that's important. With Blink, he can actually rotate between the main and the natural. But herO's not... Oh, okay, he's building probes, but he is committing here. Does he add a gateway? That's going to be curious. But now Oracles, they're trying to find value. It looks like one Oracle dies, which takes down a lot of oomph from this. And that actually tells herO that he says, you know what? I got a shield battery in my main. Or in my natural, I can run across the map with the rest of these Stalkers. It's his Stalkers, they blink into the main base here, depowering this pylon that provides production. And now we're looking at here, it is 12 Stalkers to 6, Blink done as well. These Stalkers from herO are so much better than the Stalkers of Classic, but it's only 6 Stalkers here at the top, so you still got to be careful here. Probes get pulled. We need more Stalkers to join this fight. Looks like join they will, but in the natural, knocking down here on the shield batteries, knocking on heaven's door. You're going to have to recall to get on in, and then Classic, he's just going to find his opponent blinking on into the main base. Blink now is getting close to being done. The shield battery overcharge is a powerful drug. herO's going to knock that one down. Probes get pulled, and all the damage that Classic has found in the early game, it looks like herO is absolutely poised here to make sure that that damage is repaid in spades in this game number 3. herO blinking on in now. There's not a lot left for Classic in this game. He has no static defense. He has no Stalkers. He has no game. herO, he's up 2-1. Spawning in the upper right here in the red. He's up 1 game in this series, looking actually really good. He is Dragon Phoenix Gaming's herO. In the bottom left, in the blue, down 1, trying to take us to a game number 5. Put your hands together for AlphaX's Classic. Now remember, Classic was knocked out of the GSL. He lost in Group A to Dark, and he lost in Group A to GRG, who won a game queen walking when the queen walk didn't work. But I was in the early days of the patch where it feels like Protoss were really lost. herO at least really seems like he's figuring things out. That's cheap. Ooh, that's actually a big deal. Look at that. So herO is going to be forced to not have a really good. Well, I think a shield battery still blocks that. I'm not totally sure. It should, right? Yeah, I think we're still fine. So it's actually maybe not the biggest deal after all. So this is Glittering Ashes. This is not a single gate expand map. We've seen Stargate play seem to be pretty strong thus far, although Classic was able to punish, or herO was able to punish it in that last game, just getting Blink Stalkers, hitting that timing with a couple additional gateways, accepting that he's going to take a little damage because, well, his opponent has Stargates, and that does not really defend. Oracles, at least, don't really defend against a bunch of Blink Stalkers. So, where do we go now? Of course, herO, if he has anything weird to show us, I think this is going to be the game. He's up 2-1. He has the game to give. But on the flip side, I can see Classic doing something similar as well, just saying, hey, you know, I don't know, I'm down 1. herO's looked pretty good in the series thus far, as we're going to see the probe go down. And this is a weird, I mean, this the wall just looks weird. It's not going to do anything, I don't think, unless maybe Classic wants to get aggressive, knock down have a more accessible pylon and depower things, but realistically, it shouldn't get too much done. So these Adepts will not be allowed to shade on in here as, well, hey, there is the shield battery. We'll be fine for now. Oracle on the way here for Classic. He says Stargate's been working pretty well for him thus far, and I think that's a contentious statement, but I mean, in general, he's found value. He's definitely won game 2 because of how he decided to use his Stargates Oh, but look at this. Classic went double. He went quad adept as well here. And 4 adepts absolutely kill a stalker. You look to shade on top of it. This stalker is dead. We're going to have to see a wall. Oh, no. The adepts do not shade on up here. But, I mean, this is a big problem. The stalkers are rather low. Adepts, the force field's not going to be where it needs to be. Adepts, one of them goes down, but now... Okay, stalker's going to warp on in. We're going to start to see some heavy worker damage here. 2 workers go down. Stalker's trying to kill things. Is it going to be 4? It's going to be 4. It's going to be 5. It's going to be probably 5. Okay, it's going to stay at 5, but 5 workers go down. And now Classic with the Oracle as well. But luckily for herO, he warped in a bunch of stalkers. He will be able to defend. He'll keep it at 5. And remember, folks, this is a game that was 4 adepts to kill 5 workers. Classic finds himself a minor worker lead, but it is not as cheap as a double adept run by. So it's not nearly as bad here as the stalkers. Oh, nice positioning. 1 Oracle is going to go. Oh, the sentries are going to kill it. There we go. Revenge of the sentries. And that is not something you expect to see, but it works out anyways. 1 Oracle goes down. The other Oracle gets very low. And now hero's pretty fine in this game. He's down a couple workers, but he has better tech. I would not be surprised to once again see him drop a pylon across the map, add a 3rd gateway, and go from there. But Classic seems wise to these tricks. He has a 3rd gateway done. He is not going to fall victim to 3-gate blink like he did in that last game. But hero's doing the polar opposite of that. It's defensive 2-gate blink. His 3rd base is on the way. And he's saying, hey, Classic, you got to come kill me now. My 3rd base is going to be so much faster than you. As that Stark's got a bit of a lean to it. A little stuck on the train there. There we go. And man, folks, I gotta say, I'm so happy that we see a shield battery going down at this 3rd base. I've seen so many PvPs lately where the Protoss player, they get their 3rd, and they drop Violent, but they don't drop a shield battery. And then, well, their opponent gets aggressive and they just die. Because, like, okay, there's no shield battery. You can't really hold that. You did get the 3rd base faster. So, any sort of probe disadvantage, which hero's not even suffering under, he's actually, well, up a worker for a second, but pretty much equalized here. He's going to be building 3 probes at a time rather soon. He's going to find himself at an economic edge. His forge is it's a little slower, not too much. But this game is going to go on. We're kind of at that handshake stage of PvP where both players say, especially on Glittering Ashes, okay, shield batteries are powerful. We both have blink. We're both going to have upgrades that are roughly similar timing. It's going to be hard for me to break my opponent. We might see one player, in this case looks like Classic, move out and try to poke. But neither player should die. And in fact, yeah, Classic just looks like he was maybe looking to knock down some scouting. I like what Classic's doing here. Look at this. Yeah, his 3rd base is slower, but he's got a very fast 4th base because, again, he's just recognizing this game state. Where it is PvP, it is Glittering Ashes, both players on blink and 3 bases. So what do? When you're not going to die and you're not going to kill your opponent and get greedy as hell. So taking this 4th base right now, maybe add a little bit of stalker aggression, not to try to do anything, just to keep your opponent back, is going to pay off here for Classic rather nicely. Assuming that hero does not scout it, is not able to punish it. Because 3 base play is kind of hard to punish. 4 bases is where you start to say, okay, maybe this is a little bit greedy. The other thing I'm looking at is there's no charge on the way here for herO. He does not have a Robo Bay either. Generally, you want one or the other. You say, I'm going to go into Charge Archon for a little bit, or I'm going to build a Robo Bay, and I'm going to build a lot of Disruptors. But actually, looks like hero's gearing up for a 3 base all-in. Well, I guess that's not true. That's not really fair. Just the Warp Prism duped me out. But we're moving up to 7-8 gates. On the way here, herO looking to establish position on the map, and he will have an army supply lead for a little bit because that was 450 minerals plus the pylons plus everything else that Classic has spent on that 4th base that herO has not. So he's going to be able to be active on the map here. His +1 will be marginally faster. He'll have a Warp Prism for reinforcements, as I think this stasis got 3 stalkers, 6 supply trapped behind, which is precisely what hero's supply lead is, funnily enough. And as much as we say, hey, aggression is great, Charge is done for Classic. He has some Zealots. Charge Lot's very good against Stalkers. He's got an Archon as well, just to tank some stuff. And it's really hard to find your way up this ramp. But hero's going to try to do it right here, right now. Wedging himself on forward. Guardian Shield popped pretty early here. We're going to see that Archon. Actually, okay, great micro here from Classic, keeping it alive for now. It's only on HP, no shields. But now the Zealots look to run on in. Great blink micro here from herO as he is just committing here. He's up 14 army supply. Stalkers blink forward, knocking down this Archon. Shield battery overcharge is a powerful drug, but folks, more stuff beats less stuff. It's 28 Stalkers to 12. The Stalkers of herO move on forward. They have one-shot potential. Archon going down here as well as we see more and more and more army from herO warp on in. The shield battery is going to have to do something, but shield battery overcharge is down now. All the probes getting pulled, but on the other side of the map, looks like hero's taking a little bit of damage to the oracles. But it does not matter, folks, because the army is just really damn strong here from herO. He is leaning on this Blink Stalker micro, and it is damn good. It's what he's made his name on. It's his bread and butter. And sure, he lost some workers because their oracles run out of energy. Stalkers do not. So they're going to find more value here. This third base is absolutely broken. Stalkers blink on forward once again. Stalkers are going down here. Shield battery is going to get triggered. Stasis trap. 8 gets triggered here. Another one goes down. Immortals are falling. herO doubling up the supply here right now, and we got to remember, some of that supply is in oracles that do not fight in this game. Now, Stalkers right now looks like they're going to have to go back. They're going to have to recoup their losses, as we're going to see some detection go down. Because, hey, supply is falling for just a second. Now the army of herO, it re-engages. He's got more warp ins. Shield battery overcharge. This fight has been happening for so long that we have another shield battery overcharge. But here he's just one-shotting Stalkers. He doesn't care about shield battery overcharge because he's not leaving any HP left on the Stalkers to fight. Now, of course, we got to remember, Classic has 4 bases. Yes, he lost a lot of workers. Yes, this third base is pretty heavily broken here. But he is mining off that 4 base. Maybe that's going to be something. But again, now herO who blinks on forward once again. Again, one-tapping all the Stalkers. He has to back up as the Zealots warp in. This is the story that we're seeing over and over again, but it feels like he is absolutely confident enough now. The Oracle goes down. Last of the Stalkers go down. Classic falls. herO is your champion of EPT Cup Korea number 118.